Hey there, this is Sam from Barbershop Quest, and today I'm actually at the Highland Avenue train station in Newark, New Jersey. And today I want to talk about a very important concept, and that is raising capital. Alright, so I'll start off by talking about the bank resources, and then I'll go into the financial alternatives, and then eventually I'll talk about borrowing money from friends or family, and then also finally my all-time favorite, saving money as a means of financing. So the banking route, right, choosing to go money to the bank institution. First of all, you have to know that you have to have a proven track record. Usually the banks will look for at least 5 years of proven track record in whatever business or venture that you are in order to give you a loan. And this is kind of like the dilemma that most people face, and it's like, first of all, you are a new business owner, right? You are venturing out and you don't have that much experience in the first place, and how can you get a loan if you don't have that experience? Because first of all, you need to get money to get experience before you can get the loan. But it is what it is. And usually most people from school also have this dilemma. It's kind of like coming out of school and you see this job that you want, you apply for it, and then they ask you if you have experience, right? First of all, you're just coming from college, you have no experience. So how can you get a job without experience if they don't give you the job, So it's kind of like a hula hoop, but eventually you have to try to find some ways and means of getting the experience, and before you get the job. Or in this case, since you're talking about getting a loan from the bank, try whatever means you have to utilize to get that experience so you could get the loan from the bank. One downside about the banks is that they usually give you 5 years period to pay back the loan. So you have to expect to pay back high monthly rates in the beginning once you begin to pay back the loans. Also, you need to know that the banks has a very tedious process of screening applicants and finding out who qualifies to get a loan. So you have to also be patient if you're going to go through the bank route, and how to work with them, how to make sure you have a good credit, and have all your things set, before you even make a move, decide to go and go to the bank route. And the second option is actually the financial alternatives, and one of them is the credit card option. I mean, recently there has been a lot of credit cards around. You could, if that's what you want to do, you could get a credit card, and then you'll be able to get some money by getting credit cards in order to finance your business. You also have to bear in mind that although they are easy to obtain, it also has, they might be easy to pay. They might not be easy to pay back. And what I mean by that is, though credit cards are easy to obtain these days, you also be required to pay back a high percentage. Credit cards is like no joke. 12 to 15% of interest rate. Can you imagine that? Yeah. So you have to be ready. I mean, if that's the option you want to do, you want to go through, you have to be ready. With this information, what to expect. And in terms of paying back, you also have small business administrative loans. This kind of loans is usually like a government funded kind of loan, and usually it's very, very tedious, and these loans could take up to, it's very tedious work and paperwork. You have to fill it out, and it may take weeks, 2 weeks to 6 months to just get like a feedback, just a feedback on the loan, even to start with. So I mean, so you have to be prepared. But the good thing about this, the government administrative loans, is that they give you a relatively long period of time to pay back. So they will give you about around 10 years for you to pay back. So you could probably do away with paying back, little by little, or a low amount of monthly fee in the beginning, if you qualify for these loans. They also have smaller interest rate as compared to the government loans. So that also is a very liable option to consider. And generally, you could qualify for between 5,000 to 10,000. I'm sorry, 5,000 to 50,000 worth of loans. That's not bad. If you go through the process and you are able to get it, you could get it. So that's also one option, and actually the second option to consider if you want to get financing, right? Now, of course, there is the life insurance. Under the financial alternative, there's also the life insurance. You could also, if you have life insurance, you might be able to borrow against your whole life insurance policy. Personally, I do not advise that, because borrowing against that is you will incur some fees and some other things. So first speak to your financial advisor, or speak to the company. Make sure you know what you are doing. If you decide to borrow some loans against your life insurance policy, not to say that is not possible. You could definitely borrow some money against your life insurance policy if it has matured or has reached at least 3 years that you have the policy and it has matured. So you could find out more about that, and it's definitely an option. Also, retirement. Most people start a business whilst they are working. In my case, I actually have a part-time job whilst I'm also working on my business, and then eventually I could go full-time in my business. So if you have a full-time job, you might have been able to accumulate some 401k savings, and this 401k you could also borrow money against it, right? Now bear in mind, you would have to, there are some penalties. You might have to pay some tax on the money that you borrow, and there are also, you could be penalized, but you could borrow up to 50,000 on your 401k. That's a decent amount. So it's doable. You could borrow some money against your 401k. You just have to know the rules and the regulations that apply to borrowing that money, so you don't get penalized or you don't get into trouble, with the IRS or anything. So that's also a good route, to consider when you're trying to find finance for your business, right? Now and then on the internet, right? The internet is like making a lot of things possible these days. There are so many things you could, so many resources you could access on the internet that are willing to help you get money or get finance for your business. Some of them is businessfinance.com, fundingpost.com, and businessupside.com. There are several others. Just go online, Google, and see what is available, or how you might be able to get funding for your business. Home equity. If you have a house or own a home, you could also use your home as equity and borrow some money as well. So that's also an option to look into. Leasing option. This is very interesting, because I just recently stumbled upon this. Like leasing option, like you could lease equipment and stuff for your business without actually paying for it directly. and then it's like you have an agreement with this company, and then you could lease the equipment and furniture and stuff for your business, and then you pay back monthly, on a certain amount. So I mean, if you want to consider, you could look into a fine amount about that. That's also an option to consider if you want to, find money to finance your business. And then also partnerships. Now partnerships are interesting, and it's a great thing to do too. I mean, if you are starting out and you don't have the capital yourself or the finance yourself to start your business, your barbershop, salon, or whatever business it is, you could partner with somebody who has the capital, and that way they have the capital, and you bring your expertise or experience or your knowledge to the table. So that way you could both benefit. Partnerships are great. One downside of partnerships is that when the business fails, I mean, God forbid, then the partnership could be strained. So, and also with partnership too, you have to bear in mind that you don't have full influence over the company. I mean, there might be ways around it, but a lot of times you have a partner, so you have to learn to work with them, and then things like that. But partnership is a great venture. I mean, great avenue to get finance. A lot of businesses do these days. A lot of companies do this way. And, I mean, that's an option to consider. Now, the third option is borrowing. The third option is borrowing money from family and friends. Now, this is also this is also one option most people do it. Someone might have developed great relationships along the years. I mean, you could borrow money from your friends, family, and I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's been done over and over again. And I mean, that's an option that you want. Go for it. Borrow money. And I mean, family. I mean, this is a great. But you must know that if you don't come across, and anything happens, you have to also consider the relationship that you have with these people. So on the other side, could be a great fuel for you to make sure that you're doing the right things and you make sure the business works. But on the downside, if you don't put in, your effort or make sure you make the business work, then it will also affect the relationship. And then you go to family meetings, and then there's tension in family meetings because owe people money. Right? So yeah, it's definitely an option. If that's what will work for you, or you can find money that way, I mean, definitely go for it because you need the money, right? Now the final option is personal savings, and this is my all-time favorite for so many reasons. Because this is how I personally came up with the capital that I needed to start my own barbershop. And I actually advocate this at all costs at any time. And the reason why I'm into personal savings is that actually I began, I think 2 years ago. So I read this book by George S. Clarkson, and it's entitled The Richest Man in Babylon. And George, actually the main character of this book was Akkad, and it's set in an ancient time of, like in the Babylonian days, but it has great, like, valuable gems and lessons and stories that applies today in today's world, in real life, as far as becoming an entrepreneur and business skills and stuff like that, accumulating wealth. And that's where I picked up the idea of saving money, right? And first I hated savings. Like, to me, savings was took a long time to save, and you're like accumulating all this money, just accumulating this money. And although the idea of having money available just in case sounded good to me, I mean, it was hard to do. It was hard to put myself to take, get extra money to put on the side, So I also read that book, I might in future make videos that highlight some of the lessons that I have applied to my life that's actually really helping me get to my goals from this book. But in general, it talked about saving money, like making more, putting 10% of your savings from, when you get a check or get paid, putting 10% aside. And this guy, in general, I just summarize that. This guy actually started saving 10%. Actually, Akkad, his name is Akkad. He started saving 10% of whatever income he was making. And over a period of time, he accumulated some money, invested it in the business, repeated the same process over and over again, and he became the richest man in Babylon. That was the gist of the story. So I decided, when it hit me, right, and I was like, I could do this. I mean, I could do this. And one way you could achieve that is by, I tell you 2 ways you could achieve that. First of all, you have to make sure you make more money than your expenses. So you make more money than your monthly expenses, and then you save the extra. Or you could cut back. If you don't want to make more money, you could cut back on whatever expenses you're already making on a monthly basis, and then whatever is left, you save it. So either go make more money, so you have extras to save, or you cut back, so you still have extras to save. So when I had this, what I did was I actually got a second job. At the time, I was working one job, and I was basically surviving off that. But I realized I couldn't cut back, because then there was no way I could survive. So I went to get another job, and I worked both jobs rigorously, day in, day out, grinding out, working hard. And then I started to save money monthly, putting a monthly amount each month into my account. And then eventually what happened was I saved some money for my barbershop, And so you could do that, and you could save money, right, for your barbershop within a period of a year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, based on your budget or based on how much money you actually need to start a barbershop. Now, one reason why most people don't like to save money is because of the time involved, right? Most people will hate having to save all this money over this time. To them, it's like a sacrifice. It's like it's painful, it's uncomfortable, and they hate it. Right? So the way I overcame this was that I actually had to push myself to save the money. It wasn't easy in the beginning, let me guarantee you that. Because I remember several months when I started attempting to save money, there were several months I saved money. I couldn't save the money that I wanted, and I wasn't consistent. Over several months, I'll get mad, I'll try again, I'll probably use the money until over maybe after 6 or 8 months, I got into a consistent flow. Then I started monthly saving a consistent amount of money. And then eventually I started doing it. I'll get my paycheck, go and put it in the bank, get my paycheck, put it in the bank, until eventually it became a habit, it became natural. There are times I felt uncomfortable if I haven't gone to save any money in the bank. And now it's a habit of mine, I have no problem saving money at all. But also what even grinded this habit in was the fact that I knew how I was going to open my business. I knew I was going to open my barbershop, and I knew that I needed this money. And that also grinded it to the fact. So it wasn't like I was just saving money for saving money, but I was saving money because I had a higher purpose, right? And this was important to me. This barbershop was important to me. I needed to open the shop, So find compelling reasons why you need to save money. Also, I knew I needed to have 6 months savings. So in case anything happens, I lose my job, my car breaks down, there's a fire, whatever it is, I have money available, to hold me down. I don't have to scramble around, going around asking people for money or trying to scramble for money. You need to make sure you take responsibility for yourself. So that's are some of the tips, in terms of saving money. And also, one reason for saving money is that you also get rid of dealing with the banks and the financial institution, going through all the rigorous work, the tedious paperwork, waiting to be approved. And then they have to also, in some cases, they have to have a percentage of your business or have a say in the business. And you want to run the business a certain way, and then you might have external influences, which will not necessarily drive the business, in the way that you want, that you know that you'll be successful running it that way. So, long story short, I wanted to get rid of all that, and that's why I advocate savings, personal savings. Find ways to save money. It's not easy, but it's fairly easy. It's very doable, getting yourself to save money. Also, it gets you committed. Once you save your own money, it's like now, it's like everything is involved, because money comes as a result of actually exchanging your time for money. So you work, and in exchange for your time, you get money back. So if you have accumulated all this money over the years, that's your time, and your time is basically your life. So that's your life on the table. So if you have this money, it's your life. You have to invest into a business, and you look at it from this angle, then you are less likely to mess it up. You are less likely to make silly mistakes or silly choices or misuse the money, as compared to borrowing other people's money or taking money from the bank or borrowing money from your friends or external source. You have an attachment to it, but it's not as strong as your own personal attachment, and therefore you don't mess things up. And you are very serious in your business. You are very serious about the money, and you go and get things done, right? So that's one of the reasons why I personally advocate for anybody to save their own money. Now, I talked about time it takes to save money, right? Now, during that time, it's not a free time. So most people will say, oh, why do I have to waste all this time? I'm doing nothing. I'm just saving money. Actually, that time you could use to do something very profitable, or something in preparation to you get ready to start a business. So for instance, within that time, if it's a year, you could start saving money. You could start putting together a business plan, a rigorous business plan, step to step, reviewing from various angles and dimensions, making sure that you have a very comprehensive personal business plan. During this 1 year, there's no rush. Make sure you have it down, right? You could go into self-development, right? Growing yourself as a person, getting ready for your barbershop, your salon, or your business. Consistently over the years, right? You could over the years, as you are saving, read books on leadership, right? Because you have to grow your leadership skills. You have to be a more mature person. You have to be more responsible, right? Many things you could do, right? So many things you could do within the period that you are saving money. So in a sense, it's not boring, right? Or in a sense, you are not just saving money, not doing anything, right? To me, savings is more about the habit, or developing the belief around it, as compared to the money that you're able to save. So one big reasons why I also advocate savings, especially for people who are about to go into business or new business owners, is that it also gets you in the habit, right, on the cycle of saving money. Because this habit needs to translate into business. Once you have business, you also need to have the same habit of saving money for the business. That you have extra money, emergency money for the business. If you as a person cannot save money for yourself, then how can you save money for the business, right? You are the same person running a business, and if you have clumsy personal saving habits, you're gonna be clumsy when you running your business, right? There's a saying, an African or Ghanaian proverb, that when you take a lizard from Ghana, where I'm from, and you bring it to Nigeria, for instance, or you bring it to America, it's still a lizard. That lizard will not become an alligator. What that means is you are still the same person as you are starting the business, and then when you own the business. Of course, you are growing and changing, but certain core habits are still the same, you know. So if you suck in your saving habits before you open your business, then you are going to suck in the business saving habits, you know, and that could lead downhill. It could lead you to bankruptcy and all the bad stuff that we don't want, you know. So begin cultivating the habit of saving money, you know, and have fun with it. You know, I have fun with it anytime I put money in the bank and I see my account go up. You know, it's fun, you know. And reward yourself. Reward yourself if you have to. You know, reward yourself if you save 1,000. Reward yourself if you save 2,000. If you save 10,000, reward yourself. You know, take yourself out, get something for yourself. You know, have fun, and consider it as a journey, right? Consider it as a savings journey, right? That goes on and on and on, right? So this is Sam from barbershopquest.com. I definitely know this video helped you out, and let me know your comments, your thoughts, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe now, for there's more awesome videos coming up. Like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, where you got from this video, what you are doing to raise capital or doing to finance your business, or even if there are other options or other you know, routes that I did not cover in this video. Definitely let me know about it, and I wish you success in you know, raising capital for your barbershop, for your salon, or for your business in general. Right, so this is Sam from barbershopquest.com. Until next time.